I love every person that calls himself a Muslim, and I hate Islam because it destroys people and eternities. And he says, the time is coming when they will kill you and think they are offering service to God. It's not going to be atheism. It's not going to be secularism. It's going to be some other religion that believes that killing infidels is offering service to God.
Do you know who Eli Crane is?
I don't.
Eli Crane is a congressman out of Arizona. He was a Navy SEAL. He's a good friend of mine. Me and Eli bat the Israel topic back and forth pretty consistently.
Yeah.
And we just disagree. We have wildly different ideas of, what this is and what the relationship should be and what's going on. But I respect Eli. He's a really good friend of mine. And so he wanted me to ask you about Islam and prophecy.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Just go with it. Just go for it.
Hit it.
All right.
You already know. If you watch this, we go to some dark. So.
Yeah. Let's go. Okay. Well, quick caveat. I'm just going to start right here. I'm a pastor, and what my heart beats for more than anything else is for everybody everywhere to know Jesus Christ and to love the Father. So that's my starting point. So before I say anything, I want you, Eli, and anybody else that listens to know I love every person that calls himself a Muslim, and I hate Islam because it destroys people and eternities. And I can do both of those things. I can love a person, and I can hate what I believe is a demonic ideology. Mm-hmm. So let me just point some things out. So like some things that are interesting to me. And let me give a quick, I want to set this up. So like, especially you, maybe you, Sean, or maybe some people that are listening, you're going to hear some things here in a minute, and you'll be like, man, there's some real dark stuff in the world. Like, in fact, I think a lot of the reason that you're seeing a resurgence of the purposes of God, I think, Sean, I think a rising hope. I think we got a chance to see something special, man.
I do too.
I think we got a chance. And I'm willing to pour my life out for it. I think part of the reason, dude, is in the era leading up to where we're at now, and I'm going to get back to what you just asked, I'm making my way there, is the obviousness of darkness became so smack you in the face that people they awakened to the reality that there was a non-ignorable dark force in the world. Mm-hmm. And then, dude, I think what a lot of people do, especially young men right now, is they're going, man, if there's a darkness, there must be a light. Mm-hmm. And that light has a name, and his name is Jesus Christ. I honestly think that's a lot of what's going on. Now, that dovetails to what you're saying. I just want to point some things out that, you or anybody else can think I'm an idiot. That's fine. Whatever. Let me point some things out. All right. So, what Muslims do in general, what a lot of Muslims do, is they trace their spiritual lineage to Ishmael. So we're gonna Bible nerd out for a second, and we're gonna do some Old Testament theology and then make our way forward. Okay, so we're gonna do a little Bible study real quick. So in the Old Covenant, God makes his covenant with Abram, who becomes Abraham. Okay, and he tells Abraham, through you and your offspring, and it's very interesting, Sean. This is very interesting. Just for I'm a Bible guy. When it says offspring, it's singular. So in other words, you're going to have one future offspring. And through that one future offspring, somebody out of your lineage, Abraham, is going to bless the entire world. Okay.
How do you know it's singular?
In the book of Galatians, it specifically talks about that. In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul calls attention to the fact that it says offspring. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making the same point the Apostle Paul makes in the New Testament. And so it points that out. It's a singular, okay? Now, obviously, there's nations that come out of him and all of that stuff. So, but there's the specific promise is going to find its termination in one future offspring that I'll just pull my punch is Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's where we start. Now, the promise and the covenant that was given to Abraham, obviously, he was going to have a child. Now, the child, he has to wait for a long time, and he's waiting around for the promise to happen. And he takes matters into his own hands, and his wife, this is the whole deal, his wife Sarah gives him his servant Hagar, and they have essentially a covenantally illegitimate child named Ishmael. Then later, he and Sarah have a child named Isaac. So here's what you got. What you end up with, because of he and Sarah's disobedience, is you have one covenant, but you have two sons. And now we got a problem, because now we got two sons. They're going to end up fighting, and all of their offspring are going to end up fighting. In the spiritual realm, I believe it's connected to that, over this one covenant. So then what you have is you have the children of the promise, those are the Jewish people historically. And then you have what Muslims do is they trace their lineage to Ishmael. So this is what you
The
got.
other son.
The other son.
Okay.
Okay. So now one covenant, two sons. Now you got a thing going on. Okay. You got that thing going on. Okay. Now, fast forward in Galatians 1:8, Paul says this. He says, but even if we or an angel from heaven, now this is really important. I'm going to give you two verses where you can connect some dots. He says, but even if we or an angel from heaven should appear to you and preach to you another gospel, let him be accursed. Bookmark that in your head. Then you got another Bible verse in the New Testament that says that what Satan does is he, quote, masquerades as an angel of light. All right. Now, dude, I'm a dumb rural Kentucky kid. But you start putting some things together, and in the 600s, what Muhammad says happens is now, first of all, let me just say, I'm not like some Islamic scholar. I'm doing 30,000-foot big rocks. What he says happens is he wanders in a cave, and he essentially does this. He goes, man, I was in there, and this real weird thing happened. I was in there, and this angel of light appeared to me. And he started revealing to me another way to God that's different than the one that we've had. Now, dude, all of a sudden, I'm going, well, that's real interesting. Because 600 years before he's doing his thing, you got a Bible verse saying what Satan does is he masquerades as an angel of light. And then you have a specific warning that throughout history, that an angel from heaven may appear and reveal to you another gospel. Why? Because Jesus came and he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody comes to the Father except through me. And dude, I just want to say this, and this gets me a little trouble. You know, you may have some experience with this. Every now and then you'll do something, the internet will get mad at you. That happens to me. And you know, one of the things that pastors don't have to try to be controversial. They just got to read Bible verses. And one of the things that Jesus said, that man, people today just hate it. But man, I didn't say this. Jesus said it. And man, I'd be a liar not to tell you what Jesus said. And he said he was the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody comes to the Father except through him. What he didn't say is I am a way, a truth, and a life, and some people come to the Father except through me, or also through me. So then you got that. So you got the birth of Islam, and it seems to me, man, like it's the fulfillment of exactly what was warned against in the scriptures. Now I'll give you two other things. Jesus said, I think it's in the Gospel of John, he said the time will come, and he's talking about the end. Okay. I'm not a huge end times guy, but he's talking about the end. And he says, the time is coming when they will kill you and think they are offering service to God. Now, I think what a lot of people have done, especially in America for like the last 30, 50 years, is a lot of Christians have been like, man, we're nervous about the rise of secularism and the rise of atheism, and people are just deconverting and apostatizing, that kind of thing. But dude, honestly, you take that verse that Jesus said real clearly, and what Jesus seems to be saying is it like the final boss. Like when Jesus, like right before Jesus returns, the final boss, it's not going to be atheism. It's not going to be secularism. It's going to be some other religion that believes that killing infidels is offering service to God. Seems like that's one clear meaning of what Jesus said. Now, I'll give you one other one, and then I'll just point this out. In the book of Revelation, again, Revelation is peeling back the curtain on like, man, what's been going on in the spiritual realm throughout human history. One of the things that it says is John gets this vision of all the martyred saints. Like that, all that means is just Christians. So all the Christians that were martyred because they refused to not worship the Lamb. They're like, that's Jesus. We're Jesus people. We're Team Jesus. And it doesn't just tell us they were martyred. It tells us specifically how they were martyred. And it says, he saw the souls of those who were beheaded. Now, dude, again, I always want to take this with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not a big, like, here's all the charts and here's when Jesus is going to all this stuff. But dude, I do want to have my eyes open with my Bible in front of me. And it is interesting to me, man, that I'm aware of. There is one major world religion and one only that doesn't just specify to sometimes kill people who have a different faith than you. It specifies how. And the Quran calls it striking necks is beheading. So you got that. And then I'll do one last one. It's hard to do from memory, but I'll do my very best. In Islamic eschatology, so that's what eschatology means. It's two Greek words. Eschaton means last, and ology means study of. So study the last. In Islamic eschatology, like the end of the world, what it says is there'll be this figure that rises up called the Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I. And different in the same way that in Christianity, there's like different sects of Christianity that view end time stuff differently. And that's like not my fastball, but you know, is what it is. It's the same thing in Islamic eschatology. Different Muslims believe different things. But there's some really interesting things that they believe about the Mahdi. They believe that he will rise to power during global tumult. They believe that when he rises to power, he will unite the world in a one-world Islamic government. They believe that that government will be headquartered in Jerusalem. They believe that when he does it, he will slaughter the Jews. They believe that he will usher in a 7-year peace treaty in that area. They believe that he will ride in, they believe things like this, that he will ride in on a white horse. Now, dude, I just want to point this out. If anybody's listening and like hair's standing up on the back of your head and there's little alarm bells going off, I just want to point this out. If a little alarm bells are going off in your head because you read your Bible before, that's because a lot of the aspects of the Islamic Mahdi are the exact descriptions of the New Testament Antichrist. So do I know that's what's going to happen? Nope, I don't. But I do have my Bible open, and I want to be a guy that's like, hey, man, I'm ready. I got my eyes open. I'm waiting. That's interesting to me.
Interesting. Is Christianity, is it growing or is it shrinking?
It's globally growing. If I understand correctly.
Because it seems like, I mean, I've seen a lot of charts, and I think it's growing. I think there's a resurgence happening. But, I mean, you see all these college kids getting baptized, and
Bro, it's the best.
you know what I mean? And I just saw another one. It was like a couple thousand people, I think, got baptized on the beach.
Yes,
And,
that's my buddy, Joey Martin.
What do you mean?
That's my buddy, Pastor Joey Martin. His church, that's one church.
Oh, really?
That's
okay.
One church, Church 1122. Shout out. One church. They baptized, I think it was almost 4,000 people on a beach down there in Florida. Yeah.
Wow. No matter where you're watching the Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this at all, anything, please like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, head to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave us a review.